All right, Ethan Skolnick with the 5 on the Floor podcast. We got 3 on the floor right now. Alphonse Sidney, Alex Toledo. The Dwyane Wade ceremony, it's up in the rafters above us somewhere. Where is it? Right up there, right above us. If you look up there in the sky, Dwyane Wade got his jersey retired. The Heat scored 80 points in the first half tonight. We have a lot of coverage of Dwyane Wade all over the YouTube channel, 5 Reasons Sports. 82 points in the first half. That's the first most they've ever scored at half. Dwyane Wade watched none of it. I don't blame him. You and I were both on the Dwyane Wade press conference. I want to get to the game real quick here. I'll go to you, Alex, on this. Any significance from pounding the Cavaliers like this tonight?
No significance whatsoever. It was good to see them beat a bad team after what happened with the Hawks the other night. But no significance whatsoever. That game dragged on so long. It felt like 3 games.
Udonis Haslem played 10 minutes and had 5 rebounds and was
that
over.
That was the significance.
0 for 5 from the field. Iguodala and Crowder were the first games. Dwyane Wade, one moment, Alf, that stuck out to you about either his ceremony or the press conference he had afterwards?
The funny thing to me was where it looked like he got the most emotional was when he talked about Spo. And I think that relationship, I think we undersell it a little bit. I mean, they've been together this entire time. I mean, he was his shooting coach. They even talked about how they had a bumpy relationship when he first became head coach. Talked about the friendship when he left the organization. He was in Chicago, and it just struck me that out of everybody he talked about, it was Spo that got the eyes welling up probably the most in his entire speech, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I thought it would be Haslem, actually, but it was Spoelstra. And if you remember what happened in Indiana where Dwyane basically got in Eric's face on the side, I was right next to that. I know what Dwyane said at that point. To look at where they were and where they got to is pretty amazing. For me, with Dwyane now, it's always about family. And to me, the most sort of striking moment of the whole night was the way that the crowd reacted to Zaya,
awesome.
talking about her father on the big screen. I asked Dwyane about it afterwards, and he said, "Look, this is genuine. This is me. This is my life. I'm not putting on a show now." But again, it shows you where Dwyane was. I remember being in that interview room when Dwyane came as a young kid. All he talked about was his shoes and how many pairs of shoes he had. He got a new Cadillac at that point, okay? A Chrysler 300, I believe it was. And he was really proud of it. And I remember him being in that room, and then he walked out of that room today, 18 years later, a totally different human being. And that's what I take from this. Incredible experience here. And look, next is going to be Haslem. And then eventually up there is going to be 6. LeBron's going to be up there, too, where he belongs. Oh, him too. Well, yeah, LeBron will wait for Chalmers. But a great night here at the arena. And now, as Dwyane said, on Monday, I move on. He told Zaire on the way out here, I'm stepping aside for you now. It's your turn. Now the Heat can move on, finally. All the Dwyane Wade stuff is in the past. They've got a good young team. The other thing that struck me today, the way Dwyane talked about Bam Adebayo and the way Bam Adebayo played in this first half tonight, justified a little bit. He's next. Ethan Skolnick, Alex Toledo, birthday boy Alex Toledo, not happy because we didn't tell where the press conference was. Alphonse Sidney, 5 on the floor.